what brings us back usually is just thinking about our kids, because ultimately we feel that this kind of lifestyle that we're going to be having will be better for our kids. We are moving our family of 7 10 hours away to an island. In this video, I will be sharing with you all my family's journey of packing up our home that our family of 7 was currently living in and traveling 10 hours away to Manitoulin Island, where we are now living, and this is the place where I myself grew up, and my husband as well, actually. So join us for this exciting, stressful, and emotional adventure. Hi everyone, so I'm coming to you, I'm in my sewing room now, and I'm doing the bittersweet task of starting to pack up everything on those shelves behind me into boxes. Whew! Yeah, this is the first room I'm officially trying to pack up because I'm not planning on doing any more sewing projects until after the move. I'm just gonna give myself the next month to focus on the move. Okay, so one of the first areas that I packed up was my sewing room because I figured we were moving pretty quickly, so I wasn't gonna have time to do much more sewing, and it's not something I need to use every day. So this was the first thing that I checked off my list, and once it was done, I felt a lot better. It was definitely sad saying goodbye to this sewing room because I have so many memories, good memories of working here. Let me just show you the downstairs. So ever since the offer closed on the property, at least it hasn't closed, our offer was accepted. At least ever since I knew we were moving, I've been starting to declutter, purge stuff, get rid of anything possible. I really get ruthless when it comes to moving times about getting rid of anything and everything that we don't absolutely need. So I've been doing that, and I also prepped our couches for the move because our couches were looking a little worse for the wear, kind of dirty, all the boys, you know, so I cleaned them up with our upholstery cleaner, and also I removed the cushion covers and just put them in the washing machine, and now I've put on my slip covers, and I'll show you that right now. My friend picked up several boxes for me, and these are just a few that I haven't used yet. And our front porch is a complete disaster, but I am currently assembling things to be donated. That was the biggest part of this move, was getting rid of stuff. Are you excited?
Yeah.
What are you excited for?
We can build a tree house.
You can build a tree house?
Yeah.
And who are we gonna live closer to?
Me and Grandpa.
Yeah. Are you excited to play outside at the property?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do at the property?
And go bring my stuff. Go bring both and decide to place them outside.
And here is our junk pile of stuff that needed to be taken to the dump. We did that a lot. Hi, so I pretty much just finished packing up the entire sewing room. I'm feeling very tired, but accomplished. So let me just show you quick. Hi everyone, so it's been about a week since I last filmed for this packing and moving vlog, so I thought I would give you guys an update. I have a lovely friend down the street. I call her my adoptive mother, and she has been an angel through this whole process so far. Well, first of all, helping me deal with the emotions of this whole move, but second of all, she's been giving me a lot of logistical help. So she came over, helped me fix up the boys' walls in their bedroom, and then we cleaned out the entire attic. And then another day she came back and helped me clean up my entire basement. And those were the two areas that I was the most overwhelmed about in the house. So that's great. And she's also like helped bring bags of garbage to the dump and bags of donation stuff to the Goodwill. And so we're making progress. Hi everyone. So I'm here in my rather hot attic and I'm just packing up a few boxes today. I've gotten into a routine of trying to pack 3 boxes every day, and we still have a month to go before the move, so I'm sure that if I keep up that pace, there'll be no problem with being ready by the time we get to that last week, which is of course crunch time. So packing the attic and the basement was obviously one of the hardest parts because there's so many things that just kind of get put away that you don't necessarily need, and it kind of accumulates. But thankfully my good friend down the street helped me clean up my attic and my basement, which made the packing up process much easier. Even now that we are here in this house, I am really wanting to be radically minimalist, and I'm looking at a lot of these boxes that I packed and thinking, I could probably get rid of even more of this stuff, but it's a process, right? It was also pretty hot in this attic, so I had to do this in short periods of time. And I labeled pretty much everything that was in each of these boxes. Everyone, so it's been a challenging past couple of days. I was on a good roll with the packing, but I was really starting to get to a point of just total stress and overwhelm. Trying to I was obsessing over trying to keep the house tidy for, realtors visits and stuff while living in it with 5 kids. It's obviously not possible, and I got to a breaking point where I was feeling so anxious, and then finally I actually came down with the flu, which a couple of my kids had already, and I came down with it right when it was coinciding with my anxiety and stress kind of being at a peak. But it's good. Actually, I'm glad I got sick because it forced me to cancel this upcoming visit we had with a realtor that I was stressing over, and then take some time off, just like a day really, to lay around more. But today I'm back. I'm going to be filming a video. You can see the ring light behind me. I wasn't planning on doing any more videos until after the move, but I have a sponsor for my Catherine Sewing channel who really wanted the video up in June, so I'm filming one more video to keep them happy and get that sponsorship checked off the list. And so yeah, and then maybe later I'll get some video editing done for that video, or some packing, or both. Okay, so I'm just assembling my light and tripod setup for filming this video today. That's one of the hectic things about being a YouTuber in the midst of big life changes, is you still have to figure out a way to film videos in the middle of crazy life stuff. After I had my baby, I did have some actual time off, but that was because I had had the foresight to pre-film a bunch of things, whereas this move was not really planned that far in advance, so I didn't have a lot of time to film videos in advance, so here I am, still figuring things out. This is the current light setup that I'm loving using. I use a ring light that I put my phone in, and then I use an LED panel light on the side. Hi everyone, so my makeup's done. I'm ready to fix up my hair and get dressed and film this video. I guess I just wanted to pop in and talk to you a bit about the emotional process of making such a big move, just in case there's someone out there who is going through something similar, or has gone through something similar, or will go through something similar. Making a big move, or even really any kind of move, is very scary, and it's such an emotional process. There's so many ups and downs, and I've definitely been going through more of a down phase recently. Like I said, I was feeling really anxious about just the logistical side of making this move, and then it started kind of blossoming into this bigger questioning of our decision, combined with the fact that it's just really hard to leave the friends we have here, and it's very easy to question that choice. And yeah, sometimes it literally feels like I'm being slowly murdered inside. Going to church and everyone's sad that we're leaving, and I'm sad that we're leaving, and in that moment I'm always like, why are we doing this? This is awful, we're horrible people. But Paul's definitely been good during this time. He's pretty much been steady almost the entire time about making this choice, and what brings us back usually is just thinking about our kids, because ultimately we feel that this kind of lifestyle that we're going to be having will be better for our kids. Having lots of outdoor space, more nature, and having both sets of grandparents right around the corner will just be amazing. So that's what we're kind of holding on to at the moment, but it's not easy, and I'm really just coming out of this sickness and getting back into doing things. I've really cemented within myself that I will only be taking one day at a time, and I'm not going to be thinking farther than that. At least that's the goal. Hi everyone, so it's Monday, it's the beginning of a new week, and actually this Monday marks exactly 3 weeks until the movers will be coming and picking everything up. And actually this Monday also marks 2 weeks until our 3 oldest children will be leaving the house, because my husband's parents are going to be driving all the way down to pick them up and bring them back and watch them for a week. So that will be really nice to have that last week with less kids in the house to get finished packing. So I'm still keeping pretty good with my goal of packing 3 boxes a week. I just finished packing 3 big boxes of dishes, like kitchen stuff that I don't need to be using for the next 3 weeks. And I'm just about to pack up a small box of books. I actually went through my bookshelf and I picked out a bunch of books that I figured I could just donate. But I guess I just find it hard to donate books that I have previously loved and enjoyed in the past, even if I haven't read them a lot since. And so I brought them back out of the car and decided to just pack them up. So that's what I'm going to be doing now. I also have a really cool story of something that happened this morning. So I was looking for a person in Windsor here to get free boxes from, because obviously people move every day and then, you know, they just have to get rid of their boxes or find someone to give them to. And I found someone advertising online that they had free boxes. And so I arranged and I went to her house today, and it was a nice older lady. Immediately, her accent sounded very familiar to me. Her accent sounded just like my grandmother, Rita, who actually passed away this past March, the same month that my daughter was born. And she had this very distinctive accent and even kind of a way of expressing herself that reminded me just of my grandma. And so I asked, "Your accent reminds me of my grandma. Where are you from?" And she said, "Trinidad." And that is exactly where my grandma is from. So that was really cool. Just a nice little thing. And got lots of nice boxes from her, and so have replenished my store of packing boxes for free. Packing up my books was probably one of the most comforting aspects of the packing process, because the thing about books is, you know, they're kind of like friends. Wherever you go, you know that you can read them and they will bring you back in time to, you know, the previous times when you read them, and they will always be the same no matter where you're reading them or where you're storing them, as opposed to other sorts of household items that often can feel radically different when you're in a new place. And here is the packing process in my kitchen. It got to be quite crowded in here by the end. Hi everybody, so it's exactly 7 days until my husband and I will be leaving the house, and 6 days until the movers are coming. Thankfully, my in-laws very helpfully offered to drive all the way down and take my 3 oldest back with them for this whole week. So we only have the 2 youngest kids with us, so that makes it a lot easier, and it's just nicer for the kids to be able to get out of all the chaos that's happening. So this week I'm just gonna be focusing on packing up the last of the kitchen stuff and doing last little things that I want to do to the house, like, you know, patching some holes, touching up some paint spots, and just generally like getting everything organized so that when the movers come, we can get everything cleared out, and then we have a cleaner coming in. And yeah, it feels like it's not going to happen, but I can sort of see it coming together. And my in-laws, they had a pickup truck, so they brought back a lot of stuff with them, so that's great. Hi everybody, so we're on the final stretch of the moving process. We're moving in, today's Sunday, we're moving on the movers are coming on Monday, and Paul and I and the 2 youngest kids are leaving on Tuesday morning. So we're actually just staying in a friend's basement apartment. She lives right down the street from us, so it's just a nice way to not be in the midst of all the boxes, and so I'm able to pack up the rest of the bedding and the kitchen stuff. But we can still walk to the house when we need to. And we only have our 2 youngest kids with us right now because our 3 oldest are with my in-laws on Manitoulin already. So unfortunately, I didn't get any footage of the actual movers bringing everything out because it was just crazy hectic and I just couldn't wait to get out of there, and I left my husband in charge of that. But this is the aftermath. Everything's emptied out, but there was, of course, a lot of cleaning to do because whenever you move furniture out of a place, there's always little bits of things that are revealed from underneath. So we did tackle that the next day. And now we're setting out on our journey. My husband and I and our 2 youngest kids are leaving Windsor That's the back of our van. It was quite packed by the end, even though we'd had a moving truck. There was just really too many things that we'd left behind. And I did spend the first hour of this trip feeling very emotional, but as we got closer to the island, and especially closer to the ferry dock, I got more excited, especially as I started to see the familiar landscapes of my homeland that I grew up in. The two kids were really great during this whole drive. It was a 6-hour-long drive, and they did wonderfully. The scenery is just getting so pretty, and now we're arriving in Tobermory at the ferry dock.
Yeah, 4 total.
The great thing about this ferry is that you drive your vehicle right onto it, right onto the lower part, and then everyone leaves their vehicles parked and go upstairs to enjoy the rest of the ferry while we're traveling. Leia has been the perfect baby during this entire moving process, so easygoing and happy. Hi, baby girl. There's little Edward.
What you doing?
So we have to arrive at the ferry dock 1 hour ahead of when the ferry actually leaves, so we have some time to stretch our legs, use the washrooms, and just enjoy the fresh air before we get on the ferry. Edward used one of these machines with my husband to flatten out a coin into a cool design of the ferry. And here's a cool scale model of the Chi-Chi-Mon ferry. You can see all the cute little cars on the lower levels. Lots of cars waiting to get on the ferry. You can even bring a school bus on this thing or a transport truck. Okay, so the ferry's going to be arriving soon, and there's time for us to wait at the dock and just see it coming in the distance and pulling up before we have to get into our vehicle. It's so pretty here. Actually, it was really an emotional turning point for me just as we were standing at this dock looking out at the landscape and the water. I really felt like I was already home. Just the familiar landscape and the familiar energy of this place and this land that I grew up in. And here comes the ferry. Within the past 10 years, or maybe more than that, they added all these cool paintings to the side of the Chi-Chi-Mon, and I really love it. I think it's really beautiful. So the front of the ferry actually opens up to allow vehicles to drive on into the lower levels. Okay, we're just walking to our van now so we can be ready to drive on when it's our turn. Here's Herman, poor guy. We're almost there, buddy. We're driving on the ferry.
Tina.
And now here we are on the deck of the ferry. It is so beautiful here. It's such a beautiful, relaxing ride. It's so much better than driving the whole way. It's so funny how I really never appreciated the place where I grew up until leaving it. And now when I'm coming back, I realized how beautiful of an area I grew up in and I now again currently live in. The ferry is really quite comfortable and nice and spacious on the inside. Lots of different rooms with seating. There's also a cafeteria, a gift shop, washrooms, and of course the outdoor decks. Here's another area of an outdoor deck. So pretty, the water. So let's explore the inside of the ferry. Here's the cafeteria. And here we go back outside. What a beautiful view with the sun coming down lower. Again, just such peace and serenity. And now we're off the ferry. We're on Manitoulin Island officially. This is called South Bay Mouth because it's the southern bay of Manitoulin. That's where the ferry arrives. And now we actually have 1 more hour to drive to get to our new home. And at this point, I'd like to put in a word to say that this was actually going to be the very first time that we saw our house in person. That's right, we actually bought this property sight unseen. Now that being said, I did grow up driving past this property many times, and we just knew that this property was right for us even without seeing it physically. Providence Bay. Approaching the house. Be sure you stay tuned for the next video I will be releasing on this channel, which will be a reveal of us seeing our house and property for the very first time and some very happy surprises that awaited us. My brother actually had a camera rolling as we arrived and filmed our entire reactions as we saw everything, so this will be a video you don't want to miss. See you on the next one.